off the leads as we accelerate forward now. Hello everyone and welcome back to another Hookster Talks with me and Mr. T. Oh wait, that was last week. Hang on. Let's get rid of that. Come on, it's stuck around your ear. Come on. There he is, Mr. T. Oh, he looks like he's been strangled. Hang on. Mr. TB the bear, everyone's favourite bear. Yes, TB or not TB. That's the question. But what's the bloody answer? I don't know. I never did Shakespeare. Don't you know? No, I love you, TB. Mwah. What an exciting race that was on Sunday, wasn't it? Yes, TB was excited, of course, as everyone knows. He is the Lewis Hamilton #1 fan. Didn't do much, did he? No. Anyway, he tried his best. Bless him. Bless little Lulu. Anyway, hello everyone and welcome along to the usual Thursday madness. Let's put the chat up. Put the chat up on screen. Make it a little bit bigger. That's what she said. Put that down there like that. And there we go. Hello to Mr. Champ 92. You are special because you are the first one to comment on my chat. He says, yes, keep racing for life, race fans in the chat. Hello, Dave. Keep being amazing and funny as always. Your subscribe. Well, thank you. I will try my best. You know, unfortunately, there are a few haters out there that don't think I'm funny at all. No. And they let me know constantly. Yes. But I don't care. Hello, Mr. DJM99. Haha, I remembered it's Thursday. Yes, you did. Welcome along. And yes, you saw the thumbnail and you thought, what? But no, it's true. Bottas and Zhou are out and they will be replaced by Nigel Mansell and Prost. I forgot my own I forgot my own title of my video. And Alain Prost. Yes, they will be replacing both of those. Now, how do you think they're going to do next year in 2025 in that stake? Kick me up the arse Sauber. How do you think they're going to do? How do you think? Let me know how you think they're going to. I think they're going to do brilliantly. Now, Nigel, admittedly, he's getting on a little bit. I admit that. I think he must be in his late 60s now. I think he's still got it, you know, and I think he's going to do a bloody good job in that car. And then, of course, there's Alain Prost, yes, he's God knows, he must be late 70s by now, but I still think he's going to be better than Valtteri Bottas, to be honest, because let's face it, anybody's going to be better than Valtteri Bottas. Hello, Mr. Man whose name I cannot pronounce. Keep breaking late. That's it. That's me. I found the race too chaotic, sadly. Yes, that was... I did post this. I can't remember what... It might have been on the Moaning Yorkshireman's video. I can't remember. But I did say that it was a good race and a bad race in equal measure. It was only a good race because of all the incidents that were happening during the race. But in terms of actually a race itself and the quality of that race, it was pretty poor. I have to say, pretty poor. But unfortunately, that's just what happens, you know, when you get a wet race. It's going to throw up lots of things. And one of those things that it threw up was Mr. Lance Stroll, who I had to give a special award to. Well done, Lance. Yes. I've seen the meme. I expect all of you have seen the meme. It's all over the internet. And I honestly just think his car committed suicide. It didn't want Lance to drive it anymore, and it just committed suicide. And then, just for good measure, it decided to drive itself into the gravel so that it couldn't go any further in the race. I'm sure Lance had no input on the steering whatsoever. The car itself was saying, no, please, I don't want to. I don't want to. Please stop it now. Stop it. And it just committed suicide itself. Yes, the car did. Nothing to do with Lance. Totally innocent. But yes, fantastic. Just showing again from the guy that really doesn't want to be in F1. I'm getting to the point of thinking now that maybe it's Daddy that's forcing him to be in F1 because he clearly doesn't want to be there. He'd much rather be off playing professional tennis or whatever. He doesn't want to be there, and he's just showing it now. He really is. I mean, I'm pretty sure if that had been, a Lewis Hamilton or any of the other drivers, well, they might have avoided going into the Warner formation lap. I don't know, but that they still could have done because it was wet. But any of the other drivers, I just don't think they would have decided to try and drive over gravel in wet conditions and thought to themselves, well, this will work. I'm sure this will work. Yes. I mean, what was going on through the lad's mind? What was going on? We'll just drive through the gravel. It'll be okay. It'll just slow us down a bit, but I'll just glide straight over the top of it. No, Lance, that's not how it works. No. Thanks for the mention, says Champ 92. No problem. And hello to TB the Bear. TB the Bear. DJM99 says, what a shame for Zhou. That car was crap. Has it destroyed Zhou's future? That'll be him done. Unfortunately, I think that will be Guan Yu Zhou's future in Formula One gone, because this is what I'm a little bit dubious about. You see, Sauber have obviously looked at this over the whole of the year, from the start of the year, and thought to themselves, well, something is definitely going wrong here. And they've obviously apportioned the blame 100% to both the drivers, Bottas and Zhou. I keep saying Zhou. They've obviously said that they are the main reason why they aren't doing very well. But I have heard that the car is complete rubbish as well, and they haven't sacked any of the designers, engineers, or even the bloke that designed the car, had they? So clearly they feel the car isn't as bad. It's basically those two drivers. So it's a very sort of sad situation, and I think Guan Yu Zhou has been scapegoated. Definitely, he's definitely scapegoated. Valtteri Bottas, I think it was on the cards that he was going to go, because he has done absolutely nothing. Guan Yu Zhou has really tried his best, and I honestly think Guan Yu Zhou's done better than Bottas has, to be honest. And so I just think unfortunately he's going to be scapegoated now, and I can't see him returning to Formula One. I mean, not in a permanent capacity. Now, of course, we've now got two super sub drivers out there for next year in case anyone gets sick or has an accident or whatever. We got Bottas and we got Guan Yu Zhou, unless of course they will be moving on to something else. Now, Valtteri Bottas released a video saying he was excited for the future and what's coming next. That just sounded like a load of PR bollocks to me. That's what everyone says when they've just been let's do it properly. In inverted comments, let go. They weren't sacked, they were let go. There is a difference. But that's what everyone says when they've been let go. Oh, I'm really excited for the future and what it's going to bring. Yes. Sign here, Mr. Bottas. Yes, your unemployment will be £330 a month. Okay, lovely. Yes. Maybe you'll be able to buy some trousers now. Yes. Hamilton and Mansell would make a damn good team for UK in Formula One World Cup. They would, for England at least. Yes, I'd like to see that. That would be great. Hello, Mr. Bois. Oh, here we are, everyone. This is McLaren's number one fan. So I haven't read it yet, but I'm pretty sure I know what's going to be said. Oh, no, it's something completely different. I'm all right. Mr. Bois says a disaster befell our American friends yesterday. Human decency has officially died yesterday. Yes, I agree with you. Unfortunately, because I'm on YouTube, I can't express an opinion, because if anyone watched my stream last week and was a little bit confused what was going on, because at one point my stream was taken down. Yes, I was taken down live by FOM. Well, I say FOM, it was probably the FOM robots being controlled by YouTube. But yes, I was taken down live while broadcasting by Formula One rights management. which I was informed of afterwards in an email. Yes, because that footage that I was showing last week belonged to Formula One management. Yes, because Formula One management own everything. Yes, everything. Yes. They even sometimes claim to own my game footage. Yes, they say that's theirs as well sometimes. Yes, because they get confused because they're basically, Hitlers. But yes, so that was taken down last week. So I had to be very, very careful what I have to say. Now, I have got something, though, that I do want to say. So if you're going to take me down for this, I don't care because I'm going to say it anyway. What I think is, this is a terrible president, and yes, I use that in a punny way. This is a terrible president for womankind. And as anyone who's a regular viewer of the channel knows, I do a lot of bigging up for womankind because I think, there should be equality. And if you're good enough, then I've said it time and time again, there's nothing that a woman can't do that a man can do, bar some very, very physical jobs, maybe in the armed forces that require, tons of upper body strength. Those are the exceptions. And I'm pretty sure saying that there's some woman out there that's a super athlete that could probably do that as well. So yeah, basically there's no job that a woman can't do. But this is not what I wanted to say. What I wanted to say is this is the terrible president, and that is that now you can sexually assault women and you can still end up as the president of the United States. That just boggles my mind. It really does. It just boggles my mind. Also, you can be a convicted felon on 39 counts and still be president of the United States. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. This world, this planet is just, I don't know, it's imploding from the inside. It really is. Logic it's just not a thing anymore. It's just not a thing. I mean, when he first started coming onto the scene as going for the presidency, I honestly thought it was just a joke. I thought it was basically just so that he could make the numbers up so that it would look like a proper presidential race. But that was it. And then he got in. And I was like, are you actually kidding me? Are you actually kidding me? So yes, my apology is basically to womankind because they're the ones that have had the biggest injustice happened yesterday. Yeah. So yeah, you can basically vindicating that you can do what you like and you can still get away with it and end up as the president of the United States. It's just mind-boggling. I can't go into it any more than that, otherwise I will get taken off air. So that's as far as I can go. But incandescent with rage comes to mind at the moment. It really does. It really does. I feel mostly sorry for the American people. As you know, I know quite a few Americans, and I'm in that league on a Monday night with lots of Americans, and I feel sorry for them, really. I feel sorry for them. I was actually watching a feed from Sky News the other night while it was going on. The election was going on, and it was a European feed, and it was a live chat scrolling up the side of the screen, and that the hate and the vitriol for America was just, now don't forget this was a European stream. I didn't see anybody from the United States in the stream. The hate and the vitriol for America was just absolutely crazy, and all they were saying all the time was, because I think it had just been announced that he was going to be president, or he was pretty much getting there, and all they were saying was that America is now a complete laughingstock, and they're right. There's no defending it. There is no defending it. Now, obviously, I'm not up on American politics, so I'm sure he's not the first one to, probably have been up on charges and still end up as president. But from what he's done, and obviously now he's president as well. Those 39, don't forget, charges against him, they'll now be thrown out because he's the president. He's not going to get charged with it, is he? He's not going to end up in jail or do any jail time whatsoever. So it's just, I don't know. It's just absolutely mind-boggling. And the other problem is he's 78 years old. He's got a term of office for 4 years. Now, I don't know how this works. I know you can only do 2 terms in the presidency. I don't know whether that includes if you have a break and then come back again, or whether it has to be 2 terms concurrently. If it is the case that you, even with a break, you can only do 2 terms, this is going to be his 4-year term, and he's up anyway, because you can only do 2 terms in the US. But he's going to be, after these 4 years, probably he'll be about the same age as Joe Biden. So he could quite possibly be just as senile in 4 years as Joe Biden. So in that time, when they go for the next election, they're going to have a double problem, because next time they're going to need 2 patsies, because they're going to need one to replace Trump, and they're going to need one to replace whoever's going to be on the other side. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Kamala Harris is going to be gone. I can't see her even staying in politics after that defeat, to be honest. But whoever it is, they're going to need 2 patsies instead of just one. And it's just, I don't know. It's just mind-boggling. It really is mind-boggling. And then, of course, you know, today we've got on the news that a certain person in a certain very big country that I'm not even allowed to talk about is welcoming the president, and they're open to negotiations once. I mean, that just shows you how crazy the world has gone right now. It's just ridiculous. It really is. So yeah, I'd just like to apologise to womankind, and I'm sorry that this has happened. But yes, it's perfectly acceptable to do what you like and get away with it, because you can just become president. There you go. So if you're thinking of committing a crime out there, just go and do that crime, and then go and run for presidency, or maybe just your local government, because if you get in, you'll be absolved of those crimes, and it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Yes, unbelievable. Anyway, I'll stop ranting now. I can't do any more than that, because, as I say, I'm live on YouTube and likely to get taken off at any moment. So I shall leave it there. But that's my views at the moment. Anyway, let's get back to the serious stuff. F1. Bottas would have scored a point in that car if it wasn't that bad. Yeah, I think he probably would have done. Agreed. Bottas would have got something out of the car if it was any good, surely. Bottas is going to be the Merc reserve driver for 2025. So I reckon he'll be back for a race or 2 at some point. Oh, that could be good. Yeah. Merc reserve driver. Yeah. So he could replace George at the Russell. Watch out for that tree. Or the other bloke. I can't remember his name now. But yeah, that'll be good. So at least Bottas is still in Formula 1 then. That's good news. That's good news. I can see why he's become the Merc reserve driver, because of course his manager is, or I don't know if he still is, but he was Toto Wolff, wasn't it? So if he is still Toto Wolff, then obviously that's good for Bottas. And the thing is, to be the reserve driver, the only problem with that, of course, is 24-round championship doesn't leave you much to do anything else, does it? But I was saying, if he was a reserve driver, he could have gone off and done something else and had a bit of touring car or whatever, or you know, the German touring car or something like that. But obviously, if he's going to be reserve driver, he's going to be expected to be there every single race, so he's not really going to have an opportunity to go anywhere else, which is a shame. Bottas, 10 wins, 20 poles, 68 podiums, and over 1,000 points. Yes. All I'll say to do with election is they let that Trump beat them twice. Yes. DGM99 says, yep, the presidency is a joke. Yes, it is. It is an absolute joke. Boaz says, I'm actually physically shaking, had headaches over the result. I know, and I agree with you. You know, it just goes against all my policies. As everyone knows on the channel, my religion, if you like, because I'm not actually religious, but my religion is, you know, equality. I think everybody should have a fair chance of being able to do anything. But this is just, it's just such a backward step as well. It's going backwards. He had his chance, he blew it, he tried to fiddle it to get back in again. It didn't work. Got found out. Ended up getting 39 charges of, I don't know, some of them were nicking confidential papers from... I mean, everyone's forgotten this, haven't they? Everyone has forgotten this, nicking confidential papers from the Oval Office and all that. And that was it. That should have been it. That should have been it. The only place Mr... I'm not going to say his name in case the dots are joined, but the only place that man should be right now is in jail. In jail. Unbelievable. And that goes for anybody who sexually assaults women. Should be in jail. Certainly not the President of the United States. It just boggles my mind. Boggles my mind. Anyway, let's move on. Hello, Mr. Lionel Petty. Well done, Street. Congratulations to Max Verstappen on winning the Brazilian Grand Prix. Yes, well done, Max. That was a masterclass. In my video on Monday, I actually did a round of applause for Max because I've been very critical, or not very critical, but slightly critical of Max, and I still stand by that. He does a lot of silly things, a lot of unnecessary things, because he proved at Brazil that he's definitely got the talent there, and he can just do it. So he should just do that. He shouldn't get involved with these like clashes and what have you, and that bit where he pushed Lando right off the circuit. He doesn't need to. He really doesn't need to. So I don't get it. But yeah, that was a masterclass. Kind of reminded me of the old Michael Schumacher days, the Rainmaster, I have to admit, because he was just absolutely awesome. And the way he was just whooshing past the cars, excuse me, the way he was whooshing past the cars was just absolutely brilliant. Brilliant. So congratulations to Max. You can't take anything away from him, and I'm not going to. And I think just purely from that drive alone on Sunday, he's proved that he's definitely, going to be winning this World Championship. Definitely going to happen because I can't see any way of Lando crawling it back. Only 86 points now, up for grabs, including the sprint races. Only 86 points. I think Lando's 62 or whatever. So yeah, it's just not even feasible, is it? So he could, if he wins at Las Vegas, I think he's probably got it. I'll have to check that, but I think he's probably got it if he wins at Las Vegas and Lando does his usual 6th position finish, which is what he seems to be doing at the moment, 5th, 6th or whatever in it. So yeah, I think he's probably got it by Las Vegas. And congratulations to Lando Norris on bottling the title. Yes, well done, Lando. Well done indeed. Yes, congratulations to you. Chief Bottle Job 2024 goes to Lando Norris. And the only person you can blame is Lando Norris. And you can blame the team to a certain extent as well, McLaren, because they're just too casual with Lando Norris. And I don't get why they let him dictate when he's coming in for a pit stop. He's your driver. You should be telling him when it's time to come in, not like, oh well, do you think you'd be coming in the next 5 laps? No, I think I'll be. What is that all about? What is that all about? You say, Lando, time to pit now. That's what you do. It's easy. So yeah, there's a little bit of that, a little bit of, I don't know, dare I say wokeness at McLaren, but it just seems too easy and casual. If they'd have really been on it 6 or 7 races ago, really pushing it, being really aggressive, basically being like Max, they would have really now at this point been pushing for this championship, and they'd have been in a good position. But they just seem resigned now. It's like, oh well, we'll do our best and see what happens. But you shouldn't be doing that. You should be attacking every single time, and it's just weird. Final Pleasure says, the world is a joke. I agree. I won't say anything else about what. No, that's fair enough, because, yeah, there's a lot of people watching, a lot of lawyers watching as well, because lawyers are always watching YouTube. So, yeah, that's why I got taken off air last week. So there's always, so I can't really elaborate more than that. But, yeah, you're right. The world is a joke. Now, I'm just trying to think back to when it was like this before, and right now, 2024 seems to me to be a lot like 1984. That's the last time I remember the world being like this. Yeah, it's just I'm getting definite 80s vibes from this decade. We definitely getting 80s vibes. You know, I mean, just look at what's happening in the world, and then if you go back to the 80s, these same sort of things were happening back then. I mean, back then in the 80s, the boss of that country that I can't mention, that big place. Yeah, he was threatening to nuke the world back in the 80s. Every single day he was threatening to push the button. And we just had to live with that. As you know, I mean, I was very young back then, and we just had to live with that threat, that he was gonna launch a nuclear attack. And that's basically what it feels like now. It feels like we're, very close to the edge. But, saying that, I would like to juxtapose that actually reaching that edge and going beyond that edge is a very huge gap to go past, So, but I'm saying that we are close to the edge, but actually getting to the edge and getting past it, that's a huge mountain to climb because, as everyone knows, and everybody who's threatening to do this and threatening to do that, there's no going back on this. When they say, "Oh, we might have a limited," there's no such thing as a limited war. As soon as that happens, that will be the end. That will be the end. Okay, so yeah, so to actually get to that point is, it's a huge step. But we are close to the precipice. We are close to the precipice. But we were like that in the 1980s as well. So I don't want anyone to feel worried or scared or whatever. We went right through the 1980s like that. And then the 90s came along and it all seemed to settle down again. The 90s started to feel a bit like the 60s. It was like groovy, baby, and it all settled down again. So I think this does sort of go in cycles, maybe through the decades. And then the 2000s, I mean, it's very mellow in the 2000s, wasn't it? It was, oh my God, it was beautiful. Nothing really going on in the 2000s. And then slowly it started to, increase with troubles again as we reached like the 2010s going onwards until we've reached the situation that we're in today. So yeah, I just like to say to everyone that's watching, I don't want you to feel worried or, afraid, because that doesn't help anyone's mental health whatsoever. As I say, we've been here before in the 80s, and, everybody that was in, like me, we got through it and, we carried on. So, as I say, getting from that precipice past that point is actually a huge step. It really is. But we're just, as I say, we're just up there. We're on the edge, but yeah, I'm sure everything will be fine. So please don't panic or start getting worried about stuff like that. You just carry on, because basically there's nothing we can do about it anyway. We're just the peasants of the world. Yes, this is all decided for us by the bigwigs, the higher ups. So there's nothing we can do about it. So yeah, just carry on, as the old film said. Carry on regardless. That's all we can do. Carry on regardless. Oh, I'm getting beyond the comments. Let's catch up. DJM99 says, congrats to Ocon and Gasly. That was lovely the way they were with each other after. Yes, that was. Congratulations. I was very happy to see Alpine up there, because it is my driving car in my Monday night league. So I was very happy to see that. And congratulations. And yes, it was a lovely moment between the two of them, and I think I said this on Monday's video, when you're in that situation, when you're basically midfield fighting for 15th, 14th, 13th, 12th, which is basically what the Alpines have been this season. Sometimes they're a little bit higher, but mostly they're fighting for those positions. To actually end up with two cars, one in second place and one in third place, it's like you've just won the lottery. It really is. I mean, for any of those teams and drivers, it really is like winning the lottery. I mean, it just sort of goes back to Mark Webber when he got those 2 points in that Minardi. I think it was in Australia, wasn't it? I mean, it's just you just would never expect a Minardi to, get any points. And when you're going into every single race as a driver, as Mark Webber would have been, he would not have been expecting to get any points. He'd just be expected to go out there and do the best that he could. But to end up at the end of that race with 2 points in a Minardi car, I mean, it is basically just like winning the lottery. And so it's the same for the Alpine drivers as well. And I say, a few years before this, they have had quite a lot of success. But these last few years, they have definitely been on a downward spiral. Lots of problems behind the scenes. So I think they got rid of pretty much all their staff and had to redo everyone. So that doesn't help with continuity in any Formula One team. So yeah, it's been a tumultuous few years for Alpine. So to see them in second and third is just great to see. Now, of course, some people would say, like they always do, that, oh yeah, but if this hadn't happened and that hadn't happened, they wouldn't have been. That's entirely true, yes. But at the end of the day, it's the person that crosses the line in the position that they're in, which is the one that gets the points. So, it doesn't matter what happened to everyone else. Everyone else, they didn't finish the race, did they? Or they spun out or whatever. The Alpine drivers, they just put their heads down, got through the race, got through to the end, and they got second and third, and they thoroughly deserved it. So well done to both of them. Apparently you were DQ'd, mate, like Hulkenberg. Yes. Expect the orange dictator to end term limits. Yes, I expect he will. Ocon over 8 seconds ahead of Max before a safety car. Wowzers. Yes, wowzers me trousers. 8 seconds. Wow. Oh my God. That would have been great. That certain person knows he can wrap his finger around Trump. That's why. Yes, that is also true. That is also true. That's because... oh God, I better get taken off air for this. That's because his son is very... what can I say? Chummy. Yes. Right. Anyway, I'm not saying anymore. I hope you heard that the Grand Prix Drivers Association put something up about the FIA. I didn't hear that. No. I will look at that in a moment. The UK must split from the US. It's imperative now. Brexit must be reserved for the sake of the country. Yes, I quite agree. This special relationship, I mean, it's not going to work now anyway with Keir Starmer and Donald Trump. It's not going to work because you've got a man who's about as far right as you could have in Donald Trump. I don't think he could get more far right, to be honest. And you've got Keir Starmer, who is very, very to the left. I wouldn't say he's far left, but he's definitely left of centre. So it's not going to work. It's not going to work. It really isn't. So yeah, we need to break off from our special relationship, to be honest. And it's just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Oh, what, reversed? Yeah. I got it reversed. Yeah, that was me. I didn't read the bit underneath. Reversed. Yeah, Brexit. Well, I never agreed with Brexit in the first place. When I did the voting for Brexit, I voted to remain in, with Europe because, better the devil you know. I just thought that it would be better just to stay as we were, and I've been proved right because has things been any better since we No, they haven't. In fact, they've been a lot worse. And so yeah, we should have. I mean the most stupid thing about all that was giving the public the right to vote in that situation. There are certain things in life that you don't give the public the right to vote, and staying in or out, that should have been one of them. That should have been a decision made purely by the top officials in government, and they should have said, oh, you know what, no, we're gonna remain. That's what they should have said. But no, they decided to give it to a public vote, and the vote, which was very close, I must admit, I think it was 53%, wasn't it, for leaving or whatever, so it was very close. But yeah, and then so they had to abide by that vote. It was just ridiculous. I mean, Theresa May was the Prime Minister. She just quit after that, didn't she? She said, no, I've had enough. I'm going. Yeah, so should never have gone to a public vote. Should have been Should have been just, this is what we're going to do, and, lump it. That's what should have happened. As I say, some things in life you don't give to a public vote. You really don't. Actually, one last thing. You've got people here laughing at America for electing Donald Trump. Who did we elect as PM? Boris Johnson. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Oh, yes. Yes, I quite agree with you. And I will hold my hand up and say I was one of them. In 2019, I voted for Boris Johnson. Yes, I did. Well, I didn't actually vote for Boris Johnson. I just voted for the Conservative Party because I never actually vote for who it is. Because my principles from the start have always been conservative, so that's who I vote for. Because I don't suddenly change, because that's when I first started voting. That's who I started voting for, and so I believe that unless there's a fundamental change, you should just start voting for. But this time round, when the voting came along, because of what had happened with the Conservatives over COVID and everything else and all the problems they've caused, I didn't vote for them. But I didn't want to vote for Labour either. So I just went, right, I won't vote for either of them. Because that's the only way I can sort of consciously vote without voting, because there was no way I was going to vote again for the Conservatives after the last 4 years. As I say, with COVID was the one that did it for me, to be honest, COVID. So there's no way I was going to vote for them, but I said I didn't want to vote for Labour anyway. So I went, no, okay, I won't vote then. I won't vote. And I'm pretty sure I probably won't vote in the future either, because politics is just, in the UK, is just completely dead now. I mean, back in the 80s, I don't want to drone on about this because I know there's a few people out there, but Margaret Thatcher in the 80s, say what you want about Margaret Thatcher, she was on that News at 10 every single night. Every single night she was on News at 10, spouting out, saying, I don't know what it was, but she was on there, and you just don't see that anymore. You just don't see it anymore. You'll see her on Sky News or whatever now and again, but you certainly won't. It was the questions from the Parliament, that was on every single night on the news with Margaret Thatcher all the time she had a premiership. It was on there, but I say you just don't see it anymore. You just don't, because politics in the UK now it's just a dead issue, and I've got to the point now where I can't be bothered with it. I just can't be bothered with it. So my way of voting is I'm not going to bother. Just let them, because basically they're all as bad as each other. They are all as bad as each other. I mean, we've had Labour in now for 100 days. Already everyone's complained about them. Everyone's saying, they're doing nothing. Saying about the boats, and they haven't done anything. Well, of course they haven't done anything with the boats because they don't know how to solve the problem. Same as the Conservatives, they didn't know how to solve the problem either. So there was no way they were going to suddenly come in and start saying, oh yeah, we're going to do this and that. You can't solve a problem like that. You can't solve people coming over on boats every single day. You just can't do it. But everybody now, after 100 days, is fed up with Labour. So you just can't win in politics these days in the UK. You just can't win. So I was like, I just can't be bothered. They can just get on with it. They can just get on with it, because as I say, they are all as bad as each other. There is no difference. There is no difference. No difference whatsoever. Okay? The Tories are just as bad as Labour. There's no difference. The only thing that I'll say in UK politics is that we need either the Tory party or the Labour Party in UK politics, because both of those parties keeps out the other far right parties from having any chance of getting in. So we need both of those parties. We need them both. Doesn't matter if we flip-flop between Conservatives or come back to Labour or go back to Conservatives again. As long as those two parties are in the UK, that's all we need. Because I say they will stop the far right, like the Reforms and all the others that are brewing, sitting there under the surface, waiting to come up. That keeps them out. So I'm very glad that either Conservatives or Labour are still there, and they are like a wall stopping these other parties from getting in. And so I'm very glad to see that. But as to how good they are, they're both equally as bad as each other, So I can't be bothered with them. I am glad the drivers are using their voice. Yes, indeed. I still think they had Angus Deaton not left from Have I Got News For You due to a scandal he was involved in, the world would have been a different place. Yeah, I agree with you. I think that was quite possibly one of the biggest sort of start of these scandals, wasn't it? Angus Deaton. I mean, everyone's seen the Have I Got News For You show, the last one that he was on, and it was very, very cringeworthy, has to be said. But ever since then, yeah, things have just, I don't know, got worse. A global boycott from the US is needed for the sake of humanity. Yes, indeed. Also, guess who visited the McLaren garage in Miami? This is why Lando Norris will never win a world championship. I don't know. Who did visit the McLaren garage in Miami? At least the economy might be reasonable and there may be no war, and I'll leave it at that, to be honest. Yes. True? True. He will destroy both his own country and then form of human kindness and humanity outside. It's despicable plan, and I'm ashamed as a McLaren fan. Expect 5 years of unrivaled hatred, division and culture. Yes, 10 years. I think Lando got done by the red flag, but 2 poor starts. Not great in the second half of the race. Needs assistance from his own team and managed to finish 6th from 1st. Then you mistook it for 1933, the year a certain moustached man got into power. Yes, we know about that man, don't we? Very good house painter, apparently. Yeah, he was great at painting your house. Mellow, Iraq, anyone? Yeah, all right, apart from Iraq. Anyway, time to switch the subject. Yes, not to mention that other event that cannot be named in the early 2000s. It was the beginning of what we are saying now. Yes. A shame to lose Bottas, but that Sauber team or whatever it is, I'm hoping that Audi will actually get points when they eventually arrive. True. Me as well. I mean, it is now owned by Audi. They just can't put the branding on it until 2026, can they? So it is a shame. I'm hoping mostly that it changes colour, because that vomit green, I'm sure that's why it's not doing very well. Because no car looking like that is gonna get any points. It's just, it's horrible, isn't it? Horrible to look at. And they've got that very dodgy sponsorship as well. The steak. Just look at that around the internet, and yes, all I can say is dodgy. Very dodgy. So I'm sure that's not doing them any favours. McLaren gaining 7 points in an off weekend. Maybe a title is heading to Woking after 16 years. Well, we will see. Speaking of that, when it's Bottas' last race. Sorry, I cannot get the result out of my head. It's burnt into my head. Get Valtteri Bottas on the all seasons. Get Guan Yu Zhou on the all... Yes. Speaking of Minardi, as you mentioned, the 2003 Brazilian Grand Prix, Paul Stoddard claimed that his team may have won the race. Well, that would have been a thing. That would have been a thing. Now, am I remembering rightly, because, as I say, it was a long time ago, wasn't it Fizzy Keller who won the race? What was he driving? Was it a Jordan or was it a Benetton? I can't remember. But didn't he win the race and then his car was on fire in Parc Fermé? I just got that image in my head. I may be completely wrong, but I'm just thinking that he won the race and his car was on fire in Parc Fermé. That's what I'm thinking. I may be wrong. I may have got that from somewhere else, but I don't know. I'll say it was a long time ago. Down with Magna, down with Diet. Today saw possibly the first time ever that Minardi was potentially in a genuine race-winning position. Many people may laugh, but only those of us within the team will know the truth. Yes. Will F1 Gaming lost his favourite driver and now is about to lose his second favourite driver. What a shame. Yeah, where is Will tonight? Where is Will tonight? Yes. Perhaps he's lost the will to... Stop it now. Stop it. He also said that he had the strategy but not the luck. It's the 30s all over again. Well, yeah, I agree with you. Unfortunately, I wasn't here in the 30s. No. Prior to what a lot of people think, I wasn't here in the 30s, so I can't really say. Also, Paul said that Jos Verstappen had enough fuel to last until after the time the red flag waved due to a number of safety car laps. Kia is a centrist. He's not left at all. There you go. I said sort of left of centre, didn't I? So I was pretty close. Meanwhile, Ahmad Diallo. Well, they were conservative. Now it's fuck the world. Yes. It's been 100 days. Need at least a few more years to see this sort of change. I'm reserving judgment until then. Just get Lib Dems in at this rate. Can't be much worse. Yeah, the Lib Dems, they're also doing a good job of keeping those other parties that I won't mention getting in. So yeah, all three of those parties, they're all doing a good job keeping the far to the right out of what I'll say Labour, Conservatives, yeah, no difference as far as I'm concerned. No difference. Exactly right. Hello, Mr. Calamef. Yo, you might remember a couple of weeks ago we were talking about Brundle winding Ecclestone up about F1 Digital, but we couldn't figure out which Grand Prix it was. It was the 2002 Spanish race. Well, there you go, everyone. 2002 Spanish race. Took me a while to dig it out and took some research and articles from the time, but I did find it and found us. Well done, sir. The 2002 Spanish race. Yeah, I just remember that. So funny, and the way Brundle delivered the line as well, completely deadpan, and he said, "Oh, ITV Digital, isn't that the one where you invite a few friends around and you treble the audience?" And Bernie, oh my God, he was like blah, 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 blah. full of bile and bluster. He was like no, he said. It was just so funny. It really was so funny. Jordan Dave says, but thank you. It was a Jordan. I thought it was a Jordan. Yes, and it. And Bundle says, "Is this a show where you invite your mates over and double the audience by yourself?" Or something? Yeah, that was it. Yeah, double the audience by yourself. Oh, poor old Bernie was incandescent with rage because he spent millions on that on F1 Digital. He thought that was going to be the next best thing, and he spent millions on it. Every single track. I had to dig up, not the track, but down the side of every single track to lay the digital cables in. Every single track had to have the digital cables laid in. So it cost Bernie millions of the dollars of dosh. Millions. It really did. And Bernie thought this was going to be the next big thing. Digital, digital. Just the word digital. And it's like, yes, this is going to be the next big thing. And what happened? F1 Digital ended up with, I know this, it's stuck in my head, 11,239 subscribers. Yes, 11,239 subscribers. That's what F1 Digital ended up with. Now, why did it fail? Lots of reasons. Number one, you could buy it on a race-by-race basis, £10. £10 a race to watch F1 Digital. Now, what did you get for your £10 every race? Well, what you got was multi-feeds. Yes. So basically, as the race was going on, or the practice sessions, or the qualifying, you could follow whichever car you wanted going around the track at any time. So you might think, wow, that is, yes, it is. It is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. But is it worth £10 every single race? I don't think so. And only 11,239 people agreed that it was worth the £10 every single race. Yes. So yes, Bernie's F1 Digital sadly flopped. And for 2004, they actually let the broadcaster, which I can't remember who it was in 2004, it was either ITV or the BBC. I think it was ITV. Yes, it was ITV. They actually let them use a lot of the camera angles that they'd got ready for the F1 Digital. So that was good of them, because during the 2003 season, there was very few camera angles because it had all gone to F1 Digital. So the actual coverage of races on like terrestrial channels like ITV in 2003, it was very limited to the views you could get, because they'd stolen them all over on F1 Digital. But for 2004 they returned, so that was good news. But poor old Bernie, that was one thing that didn't quite go to plan, and so yeah, it sank without a trace. Plana says that was Fisichella. Yes, there you go, Fisichella. And yes, the car went up in flames in the pit lane. Yep, I thought it did. And he won the race, didn't he? Won the race, and yet his car was on fire. I just thought that was incredibly funny. I mean, the race itself was very, very strange because if you looked at the accidents that happened in that race, I mean, that Fernando Alonso one was just, oh my God. People should have died in that race. Thankfully, they didn't. But people should have died because some of those accidents were, absolutely on the limit. But it was just a miracle. It was just a miracle. It really was. Really was. Yeah, that's the one, Plynel. And then 10 years, Brundle ended up joining Sky because they had all the F1 coverage. Yeah, Brundle actually joined Sky because they were going to a split package on the terrestrial channels of having half the races live and half the races highlights, if anyone remembers that, back in the day. And Martin Brundle said he didn't want to be a part of just doing highlights, and so that's why he went to Sky. Now, he wanted David Coulthard to go with him, but David Coulthard didn't want to go, and that did actually develop quite a rift between the two of them, and they ended up not speaking for quite a few years. In fact, if you look at some of their early grid walks, you see them sort of walking past one another, and there was one, I don't know whether it was Brundle, made some sort of comment, and he goes, oh, there's David, no, we're not going to speak to him or something, and he walked past him, something like that. Anyway, so yeah, I think they've kind of patched it up a little bit. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, there you go. Ted Kravitz also jumped ship. Yes, he did. Jake Humphrey stayed, but he left at the end of 2012 to go to BT Sport. Now he keeps going on about his rubbish podcast. Yeah, well, there's lots of people doing rubbish podcasts, aren't there? Hi, everyone. Still, at least I'm not the Huck tour girl. Yes. I haven't seen the latest celebrity she's had on her podcast. I'll have to have a look in a minute. I was surprised to see Bernie on the grid walk last week. I didn't know he was still alive. Lots of people didn't know he's still alive, but yeah, he's still going. He's never going to die. He probably lived till he's about 200 years old. He'd probably do a Jean-Luc Picard, I expect, in another 10 years and have a full body transplant. Yeah, they'll just get rid of his old wrinkled body and throw it in the bin, just cut his head off and then stick it on a new one, and it'll be, way Bernie Ecclestone for the next 100 years. I can see that happening. Ecclestone actually responded saying, don't be naughty. That's it. That's what he said, yes. Don't be naughty. Yeah, that just cracked me up, that did. Cracked me up. Bernie spent millions on a service that barely anyone subscribed to, and you couldn't record, you had to watch it live. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you couldn't record it. And the other problem was, it's all very well watching each individual car that you want. That's fine. But you could be watching that feed and then you could be missing like action happening elsewhere because you're concentrating on just one car going round. So it's far better just to watch a broadcaster do it because they switch cameras and they switch between the feeds themselves, whereas you're doing it yourself. You know, you're not a video editor. You're not someone who knows exactly what's going on because you're watching it live. So you could be, watching this Minardi go around thinking, oh, and then at the front there's probably been a huge smash up and you've missed it entirely. So that's what you got for your 10 quid. The ability to miss everything. Well done. Good evening, Shane Paul. Welcome to the stream, sir. It wasn't a bad service by any means, and it was. And it's costing money and people would rather watch the race on ITV. Yeah, that's true. We're talking about £10 in 2002 as well. Imagine how much that would be now. I'm sure some of the races were even £12 as well. Utterly absurd. Yeah, £10 in 2002. Yeah, we are. Yeah, it is ridiculous. I'm not quite sure whether you could buy it as like you can now as a package. I've just got a recollection that you could do actually. I think it was like 200 quid or something for the whole thing. I'm not quite sure, but as far as I can remember, I don't think anyone signed up for that. These 11,000 subscribers were just the ones that were paying it on a race by race basis, because of course doing that you could miss out any races that you weren't really keen on, which is great. Whereas if you do it for the whole year, I mean obviously you've got the option of not watching the race, but if you've paid £200 a year, you'd want to watch it, wouldn't you? I bloody well would. The only lasting memory of F1 Digital is Formula 1 2002 having the option of having their graphics package while racing. Yes, that's true. Excuse me. Also, you can say anything you want about Eccleston, but I can't ever recall all the drivers being that disgruntled that they had to submit an open letter like they have today. That's true. That's true. Right, let's get back to what you were talking about. I've got to find it now. Where is it? Oh, here we go. The Grand Prix Drivers Association put something up about the FIA. Let's investigate that then. Grand Prix Drivers and FIA. We'll just do that. Hopefully that will come up. It will come up. Right, let's make myself a little bit smaller first. We've got a few stories here, so we'll have a look at these. And of course, the biggest one is Bottas and Zhou. Yes, Bottas and Zhou to leave Kick Sauber as team confirms decision to part ways. Valtteri Bottas and Guan Yu Zhou will leave Kick Sauber at the end of the season. The team have also confirmed that F2 Championship leader, now I'm going to have to get used to this name for next year, Gabriel, I don't know, I'll have to look that up on Google and see if they can phonetically spell it out for me. Bottalito. Hang on. How to say? If you ever can't work out a name, just put it into Google. That will tell you how to say. Here we go. How to pronounce Bottalito. And there it is. Excuse me while I put my headphones on because I can't hear any sound without them. So, how do you think that name sounds? Any ideas? Well, we're just about to find out. Since I put my headphones on. There we go. Make sure I'm not on volume 100 so I blow my eardrums out. No, we're good. Right, here we go then. Before I do it, I'm going to guess. But, is that the right name? Oh, it is. I'm going to say Bortoleto. That's my theory. Here we go.
Bortoleto.
What?
Bortoleto.
Bortoleto. Ah, that doesn't sound right.
Bortoleto. Bortoleto.
Bortoleto. I'm going to say Bortoleto. Bortoleto. There you go. I think I've got it. Bortoleto. I'm going to run with that one. Bortoleto. That'll do. Championship leader Gabriel Bortoleto. Yeah, that's it. I've got it. Well, that's what we'll run with. Bortoleto will be joining the squad alongside Nico Hülkenberg next season with the Brazilian sign a multi-year deal. Bottas and Zhou have been teammates for the last 3 years, but they have enjoyed a difficult campaign in 2024, with the squad still pointless after 21 race weekends. It remains unclear what the future holds for the duo, but Bottas is believed pursuing a reserve role with Mercedes. There you go. There's the official announcement from Stake. After open and constructive discussions, I always love that lawyer speak, with Valtteri Bottas and Guan Yu Zhou, we mutually concluded... No, we didn't mutually conclude at all, did we? No. But so both drivers, so you said to the drivers, we're going to let you go, and they both mutually said, that's okay. No problem, mate. No, you're good. You're all good. Yeah, it's fine. No. concluded that conditions to continue together would not be met, so we agreed that it's time to part ways. We would like to thank both for the contribution they have made to the team. There you go. A situation like this is never easy for anyone, but after all the good and in-depth discussions we had in the past weeks, we realised that the conditions to grow this project together were not met, said Bottas following the confirmation of the team's decision. These past years with the team have been an incredible journey, full of growth, really, challenges and unforgettable moments. Really? Only unforgettable moments I remember is seeing that horrible lime sick green colour on the grid. I'm grateful for the joint experiences as well as the trust and support I felt every step of the way. Though it's time to move on, I'll always carry a piece of this team with me, and I look forward to seeing what the future holds for us both. There you go. Valtteri and Guan Yu Zhou are out of the Sauber kick me up the arse, whatever you want to call it. And there it is in its horrible lime green, disgusting vomit colours. So, hopefully, they will do better next year. Personally, I think they'll probably do about the same. But we will see, because there's going to be no improvements to the cars next year. Same regulations, so I can't really see much difference. All depends, though. The drivers could, they could be good. Right, let's have a look at the Grand Prix drivers and the FIA. Let's have a look at the Guardian. F1, go away. F1 drivers unite to issue statement demanding FIA treats them like adults. Oh my goodness, what is this? Have they been treated like Teletubbies? Well, Lulu has. All 20 drivers hit out after recent swearing punishments. Verstappen and Leclerc both received sanctions from the FIA. Come on, scroll down page. Oh, here we go. Formula One drivers have demanded the FIA stops treating them like children in a damning indictment of the governing body's policies and its president, Mohammed Ben Salami. I know that's not his name, but that's what I call him. The Grand Prix Drivers Association, GPDA, which represents F1 drivers, issued a strongly worded and highly critical statement on Thursday addressing the recent controversy over swearing. It took issue with the tone and language used by Ben Salami and questioned the financial transparency of the FIA in a highly unusual and very public critique, which puts the FIA in a difficult position. After Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc were recently punished for swearing in FIA press conferences, the feeling among the drivers was that the governing body was wildly overreacting. On Thursday, their scathing, united reaction was their first collective public statement since 2017, indicative of their frustration with the FIA and Ben Salami. There is a difference between swearing intended to insult others and more casual swearing, such as you might use to describe bad weather, or indeed an inanimate object such as an F1 car or a driving situation, the statement said. We urge the FIA president to consider his own tone and language when talking to our member drivers, or indeed about them, whether in a public forum or otherwise. Further, our members are adults. They do not need to be given instructions by the media about matters as trivial as the wearing of jewellery or underpants. Wait, the driver forgot to wear pants? I didn't read this. When did this happen? The latter references to the period when Ben Salami insisted on enforcing rules around jewellery and underwear, which also provoked driver displeasure, and in the case of Lewis Hamilton, Lewis Hamilton's nose stud led to a long-running standoff with the British driver. The latest crackdown on swearing is believed to have come directly from Ben Salami, which gave an interview shortly after Verstappen's punishment in which he said he did not want drivers to swear and stated F1 must differentiate between our sport, motorsport, and rap music. The comment was cautiously criticised by Hamilton immediately afterwards, saying, "Rappers is a very stereotypical," he said. "If you think about it, most rappers are black, so it says we are not like them. Those are the wrong choice of words, and there is a racial element there. Verstappen was given a period of community service for his misdemeanor in Singapore, when he had described his car as fucked. He reacted to the punishment with cold fury and all but refused to speak at subsequent FIA press conferences, instead happily talking to the media afterwards. Leclerc was given a fine of €10,000 for saying, "I was like, fuck," in reference to being in a dicey moment on track at the Mexico City Grand Prix. Outside racing incidents on track, which are usually punished with time or grid penalties, the most common FIA sanction is fines, and the drivers are clearly also unhappy with the policy and indeed how this income is being managed. The GPDA has on countless occasions expressed its view that driver monetary fines are not appropriate for our sport, the statement continued. For the past 3 years, we have called upon the FIA president to share the details and strategy regarding how the FIA's financial fines are allocated and where the funds are spent. We once again request the FIA President provides financial transparency and direct, open dialogue with us. All stakeholders, FIA, F1, the teams and the GPDA, should jointly determine how and whether this money is spent for the benefit of the sport. All 20 F1 drivers are members of the GPDA and their chair is the former driver Alex Wirtz. Its directors include the Mercedes driver George Russell and the former world champion Sebastian Vettel. Their statement concludes with a call to work with the FIA to resolve the situation. The FIA has been approached for comment, but obviously haven't commented. So there you go. Wow. Yeah. Nice. I think I've just about said it all there. So Bottas and Zhou are out. And the drivers are saying, "Don't treat us like children." Yes, fuck you. Fuck you, FIA. Fuck you. Look, I'm going to say it again. I don't care. Go on, give me a 10,000 fine. I don't... Fuck. Fuckity, fuck. Fuck. That's it. I've just been taken off air. Stand by, everyone. Dear, oh dear. So there we go. Let's go back to the comments. Ah, Bernie. He's despicable yet charming at the same time. A character for sure. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. He's basically the epitome of Marmite. You either love him or you hate him. Or sometimes you can love him and you can hate him, both at the same time. But you just can't take it away from Bernie. You just can't take it away from him. He is a character. He's a definite character, for sure. Shane Paul says they did a deal where you could watch 6 races for 50 pounds. 6 for 50. Wow, bargain. Bargain. Sign me up, everyone. Oh, you can't because it doesn't exist anymore because it was crap and only had 11,000 subscribers. Oh my god. Also, rather infamously, F1 Digital missed the Spa 98 lap 1 smash up. Did they? Oh dear. Oh dear. What a shame. The Chinese is now a takeaway. Ah, Guan Yu Zhou. I like that. Yes, that's good. That's good. We like that. Is there anything I can do to that? Hide user. Put user in timeout. Remove user. Let's go to pin message. There you go. There you go. That is a classic, I must admit. Guan Yu Zhou, the Chinese is now a takeaway. Lovely. Lovely. I'd rather they had gone for Zane Maloney just so he could have a completely random nationality on the grid. Never going to happen now. True. Mutually concluded that they are sacking them both. Yes. Vomit colours for a vomit car. Hello, Mr. Polish Anyone. He says, Hookster, have you seen my recent masterpiece? If you've done it today, then the answer is no. I haven't seen anyone's today. I do it on a day-by-day basis, and so I should be looking at everybody's videos around about midnight tonight. Okay, so if you're on about midnight tonight, I should be watching your video. Don't worry. I have been watching previous ones though, so don't worry. Yes, indeed. Also, on the topic of shady sponsors like Steak, who really is the most shady sponsor in the history of the sport? The first one that springs to mind for me is Rich Energy. Yes. I don't know if this one's shady, but it was definitely on the limit. Of course, they had the Durex sponsoring, didn't they, for one of the teams? I can't remember what it was, but Durex. That was definitely pushing the limits. But not shady. I wouldn't call Durex shady, but you know. Basically, Jordan and Russell politely rearming Liberty and the FIA with an inch of their life. Yes. Ben Salmon. There you go. The drivers have to wear special fireproof underwear in the car. That ruling is fair enough given Grosjean accident a few years ago. Okay. Fair enough. The situation really sums up how the sport has really gone down the toilet in recent years, despite its growing popularity. Well, most of that growing popularity has actually come from America, hasn't it? Because of Liberty Media is an American company. A lot of people don't know it, but I'll keep bashing everyone over the head with it. Liberty Media actually also own Virgin Media in the UK. In fact, they owned Virgin Media in the UK when it was pretty much started over here back in the 90s. Yes, they were like a silent company which sat there in their office in New York, took all our money over here in the UK for the cable, and that was it. They never did nothing. The early cable service of Virgin was pretty rough, pretty ropey, as to be said. Pretty ropey, but they were the owners. Yes, Liberty Media. They owned all the cable services over here in the UK back in the 90s. So we were paying them back then. That's why when they took over F1, I knew immediately the name because I went, oh, yes, that's right. They're the ones that, and of course they still do own Virgin Media. I think Virgin actually sold their name to someone else. So it's, even though it's called Virgin, it's not. It's nothing to do, and it's nothing to do with Richard Branson anymore. I can tell you that much. Used to be, but not anymore. But even when Richard Branson was in charge of Virgin Media, it was still owned by Liberty Media. That's, you know, very complicated situation, but yeah, it's always been Liberty Media. F1 is not a serious sport. No, it's not. It's not. And also that Netflix series grew in popularity. Yeah, true. Drive to Survive is no better than those season reviews they used to put on DVD. I will die on the hill that Drive to Survive in the sport. I hear you, and I think you're right. I have not watched 1 second of Drive to Survive. No, it's. I will watch them one day, maybe 5-10 years down the line. I will just whack on Netflix or whatever and just binge watch through the whole of them. But all the time, Grand Prix are on, and things are still in my memory as being recent. I'm not going to be watching Drive to Survive because it's a pantomime. That's what it is. It's the classic Christmas British pantomime, just for the worldwide audience. That's all it is. It's, oh, look, he's behind you, and oh, where, look, there he is. That's what it is. That's what Drive to Survive is. It's just a complete pantomime because it's not real. It's not real. I mean, what was it, the last season or the season before, when one of the drivers said something and he said that wasn't what I said, or it was what he said, but they twisted it around so it looked like he was saying it, but I don't know what it was. But anyway, that was in Drive to Survive. So that was basically turning Formula One into a reality TV show, which is exactly what Drive to Survive is. It's a pantomime and a reality TV show. It's got no bearing whatsoever on the sport of F1. It really hasn't. Really hasn't. And I'll say I haven't watched a second of it, and I don't intend to. So it's me and Sebastian Vettel, because Sebastian Vettel, I don't know whether he has now, but he said he hadn't watched a second of Drive to Survive, and he said I don't need to. He says I'm at the time. He said I'm actually in it, so why do I need to watch it? But he said he will go and watch it in the future, which is what I would do as well. But I say I'm talking 5-10 years down the line when it's all irrelevant, and I'm like trying to find something to watch. The 1993 season review was narrated by Jonathan Roth. Was it Jonathan Roth? And he would say, Frost, Ferrari, McLaren, and Wetty, Thwandle. It's Martin Thwandle. Martin Thwandle. Oh, no, they didn't. Oh, I like that. Oh, no, they didn't. Oh, yes, they did. Yeah, that's exactly what Drive to Survive is. It's just pure F1 pantomime. And the worrying thing for me is new people coming into the sport of Formula One that have, like Hannah Atkinson, who's watched the... Stop it, Dave. Stop it. Who's watched the sport since 2021, so it's rather good authority on it now. But people like that, they've only come into the sport purely through Drive to Survive. And that's just such a mistake, because you are not getting the picture of Formula One if all you watch is Drive to Survive. You're really not. That is not. No, the die-hard fans will tell you that Drive to Survive... I mean, the die-hard fans probably watch it as well. It's fair enough. But they will tell you that is not Formula One whatsoever. It's just a pantomime. And Clive James did a few of them in the 80s, and he was funny. Yeah, I used to like Clive James. Very, very sad. He has gone now, hasn't he, Clive James? But, yeah, I used to like him. Very, he had this acerbic wit. Well, he was Australian, wasn't he? Was he Australian? I think he was. So he had this very acerbic wit, and it was very funny. And from 2001 onwards, it was Ben Edwards until they changed the season review format into a highlights show. At least that's what I know of. Yeah. Yeah, good old Clive James. He was a good egg. And I say I'm 99% sure he's gone. I will just check it just in case I've made a horrible mistake, which I have done in the past. All you got to see is if it says was, then you know instantly whether he's still alive or not. Wait, an Australian. No, well that's bad. It says an Australian. It should have said was an Yes. Oh, it does sound alive until his death in 2019. Oh my God, I thought he was still alive for a moment there. Oh, that got the old heartbeat, didn't I? Surely not. Yeah, he's been gone since 2019. 24th of November. Let's go to his Wikipedia. I just got this horrible memory that he died of something quite horrible. I can't remember. I don't always put it on Wikipedia. What? James was born Vivian Leopold James. Wow. Look at that. Fantastic. Fantastic. Let's go down to the bottom then. As you can see, he did a lot. He did a bloody lot. Jesus. He was on radio, television. He was a novelist as well. A poet, lyricist, a critic, an essayist. Jesus. I'd like to add that on my Wikipedia page, I tell you. All mine will say is Hookster. Did the all seasons. Enough said. Political views. Yeah, he did have quite a few political views. I think that probably weren't that good. Personal life. For much of his life, he was a heavy drinker and smoker. He filled a hubcap ashtray. Oh, blimey. Hubcap ashtray daily. That's not good. He smoked 80 cigarettes a day before giving up in 2005. April 2011. He had B-cell chronic lymphocytic leukemia. Had beaten him and it was near the end. He was also diagnosed with emphysema and kidney failure in early 2010. So he's still, bloody hell, with all that, he still went on till 2019. Jesus. BBC interviewed Charlie State, broadcast on March 2015. James describes himself as near to death, but thankful for life. And he still lasted another 4 years after that. 15, 16, 17, yeah, 4 years after that. James died at his home in Cambridge on 24th of November 2019. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Yes, he was very controversial. He had political views that possibly a lot of people didn't agree with. But I looked not at the views that people have, but I looked at what he could achieve. And he was very good on television, very good on radio as well, was Mr. Clive James. But there you go, bloody hell. Born in New South Wales, Clive James. It was 2019, then BBC 4 afterwards showed all of his postcards from documentaries from which I recorded. Nice. What are people's opinions on James Allen? Well, he's got 23 psi of tyre pressure in the car right now, so he should be doing very well in this race. Oh, wait a minute, he's got 22 psi now in the rear left. Rear left has got 22 psi, yes. That's my little James Allen impersonation there, because when he first took over from Murray, all he talked about was tyre pressures. Yeah, that's all he talked about. It's tyre pressures this, tyre pressures that. And I was like, are you kidding? No one gives a shit about tyre pressures. Really. He did get better, though. He did get better. I thought he was a good commentator. It's a shame that he was just dumped once F1 left ITV. Yeah, I'll say, when he started, he had big shoes to fill with Murray Walker going, of course. And I'll say, he got off to a faltering start. Everyone said he was boring as well when he started. I even made a video saying he was better than Nighthole. If you wanted to go to sleep, just listen to a James Allen commentary. But yeah, as he progressed, he did get a lot better, I must admit. So yeah, James Allen was a good commentator. He did have a big act to follow from Murray Walker, but he was the first commentator I remember. He did suffer from Hamilton mania in two. Yes, he did. Still better than Jonathan. Oh, there's a problem, Ledyard. Yes, Jonathan Ledyard. I also like James' commentary in F1 Championship Edition. Yes, pretty decent. Pretty decent. Pretty decent indeed. Right, how long have I been on here? 1 hour, 28 minutes. So you know what time it is now, don't you? Yes, it's that time again that everyone loves. So there we have it. From 10th to pole, the grid order looks like this. We've enjoyed it, and I hope you have too. We'll see you tomorrow for race day. Goodbye. Was that good? Did you like that? We need James Allen back. Second best commentator after Murray. Yeah, he did a really good job for that game. That game as a whole is pretty incredible. Oh, that time. The wife had a thing about Tony Jardine. Did she? Tony Jardine. Ah, Tony Jardine. Yes. Lovely. Lovely. Tony Jardine. Right. Yes, brah. It's that time again. Right. Time for the quiz. Right. First one in the chat. So I bought her a tiny Jordan 1.40. Nice. Right, here we go. First one in the chat with this gets it. So, are we going 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s or 90s? Go, go, go. Type away, type away, type away. First one to get it. First one to get it. Come on, type it, type it, type it. 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s or 90s? Did you know that at 58, Briatore boffed Naomi Campbell? Did she? Or did he? Wow, I never knew that. I never knew that. Right, well, you've got it because you've got 90s. Right, 90s is on page 325. Bloody hell. I don't usually get this far into the book. 325. 90s. '90s. Here we go then. Right. 10 questions. As always, feel free to use Google because I can't police it. And as always, the stream is up on your screen so you can see. So if you've got the right answer and it doesn't come up on the screen, I'm sorry. I have to take the first answer that's on the screen due to internet problems which I have got no control over. Right, 1990s. 10 questions. I'm going to write down Bra as being here. DJ99 is also here. Callum's also here. But feel free, you don't have to compete. I'm just writing your names down. And Mr. Pessy is here as well. Anyone else that wants to contribute, please feel free, and I shall write your name down after you answer the first question. Right. Question 1. Who became only the second driver to have competed in 200 Grand Prix in 1991? I will say that again. Who became only the second driver to have competed in 200 Grand Prix in 1991? Was it A, Andre de Cesaris, B, Nigel Mansell, or C, Nelson Piquet? Answers on page 332. 332. La 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 la. Think I'm on delay, so thank God we will be. Any more for any more, any more for any more, any more for any more. Too late though, went too early. Any more in the chat? I'm going to do a countdown now. Is that everybody? Is that everybody? Is that everybody? I think it is. Right. The answer was Nelson Piquet. Nelson Piquet was the answer. And we've got Plynal Plessy's got it. Plynal Plessy's got it. First one out of the gate with the correct answer. It was indeed Nelson Piquet. Question. Oh, Piquet, DJM99. Well done, sir. Well done. I've got you on the ball. Don't worry. Now it's time for Dave Riley to give us the answer. Dave Riley. Dave Riley. Right, question number 2. For which team did he drive in 1991? This is, of course, Nelson Piquet. Which team did he drive in 1991? Was it A, Williams, B, Benetton, or C, Leighton House? His stun didn't quite reach 200 races. No. Right, any more for any more? Anyone else out there? Anyone out there with an answer? No? Okay. So the answer was, why have we got Lotus? Was that even an answer? No, it wasn't. But well done for trying. Right, the answer was, if I can find it now, Benetton. And the winner of that question is Lionel Pesci. Well done. Benetton it is. I'm answering them far too quickly and getting them wrong as a result. I'm a washed up has-been. Early days for the quiz championship. Don't worry, early days. Pesci has got off to a good start with 2 points, but anything can happen in the next 10 minutes. Yes, he was at Lotus at 90, so got confused. No worries. Come on, you can do a Lando Norris comeback now. Sorry, shouldn't have mentioned that. That's below the belt, that is, Dave. Right, question number 3. How many races did he win in 1991? This, once again, of course, is Nelson Piquet. How many races did he win in 1991? Was it A, none, B, 1, or C, 2? Okay, and the answer is 1. He won 1 race. And the winner of that question was Lionel Pesci. Yes! Well done, sir. Bois in there with 2 and 3 and 4. Or something like that. Right. Question number 4. Which jubilant, that's a word, which jubilant young team based at Silverstone made its Formula One debut in 1991? Was it A, Coloni, B, Lambo, or C, Jordan? Which jubilant young team based at Silverstone made its Formula One debut in 1991? Coloni, Lambo, or Jordan? Ba, 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 ba. That was 1990 bar. Oh dear, I went off again. Right, the answer was Jordan. It was Jordan, and the winner is Pinal Pesci with Jordan. Wowzers. Well done indeed, and well done. Bars got it as well. Finally got one, hopefully. Unfortunately not. He's pipped you to the post. Yes, he's taken pole. Oh, for fuck's sake, mine came off first on my stream. Congrats, Pleasure, you won. It's not over yet. He's only on 4 points. You can still make a comeback. Here we go. Number 5. Who was their team boss? Was it Peter Collins, Eddie Jordan, or Ron Dennis? The answer was Eddie Jordan. Eddie Jordan. And Pleinal Plessy's got it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hang around, Bar, for one last question, okay? Because if Pesci gets it right, I will be offering a 5-point bonus question, okay? So hang around for one more question. Okay? Question number 6. Which driver that he would retire at the end of 1990 was lured back to Formula 1 in 1991? Was it Alain Prost, Gerhard Berger, or Nigel Mansell? Hello, Laurie. Welcome to the stream. He says 3. It's over. The answer was Nigel Mansell. And the first one is Pinal Pesci. Right. Here we go, Bar. Here we go, Bar. This is the one. This is the big one. Okay. This is the big one. 5-point bonus if you get this one first. If you don't, unfortunately, it will be over. It will be over. But if you get this right, you'll get a 5-point bonus, which means you'll only be one behind Pleinal Plessy, okay? So, here's the question. This is the final one, or we could be able to continue. Question number 7. Who persuaded him to come back to Formula 1? Was it A, Ron Dennis, B, Flavio Briatore, or C, Frank Williams? Five points for this, if you get in there quick. 5 points. Yes! You've done it, boy. Frank Williams was the correct answer. You have a 5-point bonus. Yes. Yes. See? It's not over. It's not over. You are now back in it with 5 points. Pleinal Plessy's got 6. So don't give up yet. Don't give up yet. Right. Question number 8. What did he insist upon? This is Nigel Mansell. A, number 1 status. B, a personal motorhome. Or C, an apartment in Monaco. Bloody O2. Oh my God, now it's getting a little bit exciting because the answer is number 1 status, and the first one to get that is Bra. Yes, you've got it, Mr. Bra. Now it's exciting. Now we are 6 points ahead. 6 points level, I should say. Sorry. Final 2 questions. Final 2 questions. Which driver was to become the darling of the Tifosi and took the second seat at Ferrari? Was it John Alesi, Gerhard Berger, or Alex Zanardi? Which driver who was to become the darling of the Tifosi took the second seat at Ferrari? John Alesi, Gerhard Berger, Alex Zanardi. The answer was, it was a Lacey, and the winner at that point is Lionel Pesci. Wowzers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 for Pesci, 6 for Bra. This is exciting because this could go into a tie break. Final question. Which future world champion drove for Lotus in 1991? A, Nigel Mansell, B, Mika Häkkinen, or C, Michael Schumacher? Which future world champion drove for Lotus in 1991? Nigel Mansell, Mika Häkkinen, Michael Schumacher. Final question of the night. And the answer is Mika Häkkinen. And I have to say, it's gone to Lionel Pesci, who has won tonight's quiz. But that was very close indeed. You got the bonus point right, which is what you needed to pull your points up. And so, yes, in the end, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for Pesci. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for Bra. So you both did very, very well indeed. And very exciting towards the end there. So thanks for playing. Yeah, the delays of my data has destroyed my advantage I used to have on this. Never mind, you still did well. The most important thing was you got that 5.1 right, which really pulled you out. Otherwise, it would have been game over because you'd have been out of it. That's the most important thing. So you did well. Because you could have won those last 2 points and you would have won the quiz, even though you Pliner was romping away with it at the start. You got the most important one, which was that 5-point bonus, which is, if you haven't worked out yet, I have to wait until the other person gets 6 points before you can get a 5-point bonus. Otherwise, it's going to give the advantage to you. So, that's just basic maths. But anyway, there you go. My time has been and gone, washed up now. Washed up. How old is he? He's in his 20s and he's washed up already. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I'm sure you'll be back. I'm sure you'll be back and triumphant again. I had my success. I think it's time to retire from the quiz. He's going to retire from the quiz in his 20s. Yeah, he's going to say, that's it. I'm done. I'm a washed up has-been in my 20s. It just makes me laugh, you kids. It really does. I'm a washed up has-been in my 20s. That's it. I am done. Well, there you go. That's the end of the show. Thanks so much for watching, everyone, and joining me tonight for another Hookster Talks. Thanks to Bar. Thanks to Laurie for being in there as well. Thanks to Applied All Plessy. Let's go up the stream and see if we've forgotten anyone. DJM99, thank you, sir, for joining me in the chat tonight. Callum F, thank you, Callum, for joining me as well. Good to that you found that about F1 Digital. That was great. And Mr. Shane Paul was in there as well. Thank you, Shane, for joining us. And the man whose name I still can't pronounce, Mr. Rugara. That's the second name anyway. That's as much as I can get. Thank you for joining me tonight in the stream. Was there anyone else? There was a couple right at the start. Let's have a look. Oh yes, Mr. Champ 92 as well was right at the start of the stream. So thank you, sir, to you for being in the stream. Okay then, that's it, everyone. Now, thanks for a bit of detachment from our bleak reality. My pleasure. That's what I'm here for. Pure entertainment purposes, and I hope that's what I've done tonight. And as I say, I've done some pretty serious subjects earlier, but I just want to reiterate, because I don't want to leave it like this. I just want to reiterate, if you are a young person out there, please don't worry about everything that's happening in the world, because the world's been like this for many years. We're just going through a bad period, and I'm pretty sure things will improve. I'm 55 and I've been through some bad stuff, and then things got better and things got worse again, and then it's a roller coaster through life. And I'm sure I'm looking over there. I should be looking up there. I'm sure things will get better. So one thing I always say is, please don't worry about things, and certainly don't stress yourself out and get anxious over things that are happening in the world. It's completely out of our control anyway. There's nothing we can do about it. So please, just go day by day. Take it day by day, and there you go. That's all anyone can do in life, really, is just go day by day. And if you feel anxious or whatever, anytime, don't forget the All Seasons is always there. And most of my other nutty videos are always there, to cheer you up during these difficult times. But as I say, please don't stress about it or worry about it. The whole world's been down this road before, and I'm sure we'll be down it again in another 10 years' time. So please don't worry about it, because this week has been one of the darkest in human history outside of tragedies. That's what Tony Blair said. Within 6 years, we were in the Middle East. This is true. So as I say, we've been through all this before. I mean, America, when they invaded Iraq, that was a bad time, and we've got bad times as well going on at the moment. But as I say, I always like to be optimistic, and I'm sure things will work out. They usually do in the end. So please don't stress yourself. Because I speak about this sometimes, but not very often. I do suffer from high anxiety. Sometimes before I come on stream, I get very, very anxious. And I don't know if anyone actually saw my famous stream. It was months ago now, when I actually had what you'd call stage fright. I was on air for about 5 minutes, and I couldn't speak. Because I didn't want to. I didn't want to, communicate to anybody, and I actually cut the stream. And a few people saw that stream in the first 5 minutes and asked me if I was all right. And yeah, I was fine, but I just got stage fright, or the old word for it was stage fright, and I just couldn't do it, because sometimes I do suffer from anxiety myself, and sometimes things get on top of me and I can't do it. Just being the person that I'm being right now to you guys is sometimes a struggle for me. So yeah, so I don't want any of you out there to be anxious or upset or whatever about whatever's going on. As I say, I'm sure things will get better eventually. We're just going through a bad patch at the moment, but please don't start worrying about it and getting anxious about it, because it's really not worth it in the end. No, coming from a bloke that gets anxious about everything. Yes, it's really not worth it in the end. That's what I say to myself every day. Anyway, that's it for me. Thanks so much for joining me tonight on the show. You have been awesome as always. And yes, now, surprising last bit of news. There is no Grand Prix on Sunday. What strange sorcery is this, you say? No, there is no Grand Prix on Sunday. So we can all have a relax, have a little break from the weekend of debauchery of F1 before it returns next week for its final 3-race push for Lando Norris to win. For Lando Norris to finally win this championship, because we know it's going to happen. We know it's going to happen. Maybe not. But anyway, thanks so much for joining me tonight, everyone. For me and Mr. TB the Bear, TB, everyone's favourite bear, and Chief Lewis Hamilton fan, aren't you? Yes, he loves Lulu. He doesn't want Lulu to leave the sport, do you? No, it would get upset, won't you? Yeah, it's very upset he'll get if Lulu leaves. So there you go, everyone. There you go. Thanks for joining me tonight. And where's the next Grand Prix? America. Over. Yeah, that is ironic. I'll give you that. That is quite ironic. The next Grand Prix is in America. Yes. Now, the question is, will a certain somebody who wears a red hat be there for a little bit more publicity? It is Texas, don't forget. It is Texas. I think the likelihood of that is going to be very, very high indeed. Very high indeed. So anyway, because we haven't had enough of them this month. This is true. So yeah, expect to see the bloke that wears the red hat and looks like he gets tanned every single night. Expect him to be at Texas for the COTA Grand Prix. Is it COTA? No, it's Las Vegas, isn't it? Oh, I can't remember. Where is the next one? Is it Las Vegas? Nevada, yeah, Las Vegas. Yes, well, expect the red-hatted one to be at Las Vegas. That's all I'm going to say. Expect him to be there at Las Vegas, because I don't think he'll be able to resist the exposure, because it's a big worldwide stage, goes all over the world, doesn't it? He'll be there. Guarantee you he'll be there. Bound to be. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, everyone. You've been awesome as always. No Formula 1 this weekend, so I'll be back next weekend for my usual after review show, which I'd like to say thank you very much. It's done very, very well, that video. I'm very surprised. Almost 1k of views. That Lando is a loser. That video. Done almost 1,000 views for my little bit of naval lint. Very, very happy. Very, very happy with that. So thanks for anybody who watched that video as well. And of course, I'll be doing another review of the next race, which will be great. Absolutely great. Because Las Vegas, well, it's steeped in heritage, isn't it? Steeped in heritage. So can't wait for that one. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching me tonight. And I'll catch you on Sunday for the All Seasons. Thank you. And good night. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.